guys, and welcome back to Strange Days True Crime. Today we have an update for you on the Long Island serial killer and what is happening with the case this far. The Long Island serial killer began his murderous rampage sometime in 1996 and continued to 2010. 11 victims were located along Long Island Beach. The majority of the victims were female and one male, along with a toddler that was the child of one of the victims. Only a few of the victims have been identified. It wouldn't be till December of 2010 that the first body would be found, only when a search was being conducted for missing 23-year-old Shannon Gilbert, who was reported missing and last seen in May of that year. The body recovered was dubbed Jane Doe No. 1, and that would later be identified as 24-year-old Melissa Bartholomew. 3 days later, after the discovery of the first body, 3 other bodies were found, being named Jane Doe's No. 2, 3, and 4, all being located along Ocean Parkway. These victims were later identified as 25-year-old Maureen Brainard Barnes, 27-year-old Amberlynn Costello, and 22-year-old Megan Waterman. All 4 of the victims were last seen between July of 2007 and September of 2010 and worked as escorts on Craigslist. Months later, investigators found the remains of another woman several miles east from where the first 4 victims were found, and it was determined that this woman was also an escort. These remains were discovered in March of 2011 and were named Jane Doe No. 5. The remains of Jane Doe No. 5 would be connected to the 4 Gilgo Beach victims. Jane Doe 5 would be identified as Jessica Taylor. April 4th of 2011, investigators found 3 more sets of human remains on Ocean Parkway in Suffolk County. These remains belonged to an unidentified Asian male, a female toddler, and Jane Doe No. 6. Just a week later, 2 more sets of remains were found, and one was named Peaches due to a peach tattoo that she had, and DNA confirmed that Peaches was the mother of the female toddler who was found. The other set of remains were unidentified. Jane Doe No. 6 would later be identified in May of 2020 as Valerie Mark, who was 24 when she was last seen. Valerie would also go by the name Melissa Taylor. In total, 11 bodies would be found. Fast forward to July 13th of 2023. Investigators have arrested 59-year-old Rex Heuermann. Rex was arrested at his home in Muskego Park, and he has so far been charged with 3 murders out of a possible 11 victims. Rex was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of second-degree murder in the deaths of Melissa Bartholomew, Amber Costello, and Megan Waterman. He is also the prime suspect in the death of Maureen Brainard Barnes, but no charges have been laid yet. On Friday, July 14th, Rex pled not guilty. But what do we know about Rex Heuermann? While Rex was born and raised in Long Island to his parents Theodore and Dolores Heuermann. Rex's father was an aerospace engineer and passed away in 1975 when Rex was just 11 years old. His mother is still alive and 93 years old. As a teenager, he attended Berner High School. After high school, Rex would receive his architect license in 1996 and would start his own business called RH Consultants and Associates. The business is in Manhattan and the premier architectural firm for New York City. In school, his peers said he was dark and quiet. He was very intelligent and kept to himself. Rex would marry Elizabeth Ryan in 1990 and divorce, only to marry again to his wife Asa Ellerup, who was also 59. Rex also has 2 children, a daughter and a son who has special needs. Investigators stated that they have been working hard on the case, and it was DNA that was collected from a pizza box Rex had discarded at his work in January of 2023 that was a match to a hair that was found on a burlap sack that was wrapped around one of the victims. Investigators also found hair matching Rex's wife, which they believe was transferred to the victims, and his wife did not play a role in the murders. It was also stated that investigators have built the case using phone records linking him to the victims and a pickup truck that was reportedly seen near one of the victims' homes. It is believed that he communicated with the victims with a burner phone that he would later get rid of. Investigators have stated that Rex has been on their radar for a year now, and they have just been building a case against him. Some of the phone records also led investigators to believe that the murders took place when his wife and children were out of town. It is also stated that Rex would send taunting calls to one of the victim's family members, using her phone to do so. In one of the phone calls made by a male, he stated that he had sexually assaulted and killed Melissa Bartholomew. According to a witness, on September 1st, they seen a client enter the home of Amber Costello, and later a person pretending to be an outraged boyfriend and the client left Amber's home, and Amber collected money from the client for her services. The client was described as a 6'4" to 6'6" white male with 1970s style big oval glasses and dark bushy hair. The witness also noticed a dark green Chevrolet Avalanche parked in the driveway. This same witness stated that the Avalanche was back at Amber's home the next day with the same client. The truck is similar to one that Rex owns. Investigators had more than 300 search warrants and subpoenas and came across a number of burner phones and online accounts such as Tinder with the name Andy Roberts were linked to Rex, along with a few different email accounts. One of the emails was linked to a burner phone, which was used to search thousands of sadistic and torture-related pornography, sex workers, and child pornography. This burner phone was also used for more than 200 searches on missing Amber, Maureen, Megan, and Melissa, as well as serial killers, and viewed hundreds of images of the victims and their families. Rex had even searched up the very task force which was investigating him. In May of 2023, Rex was seen on video surveillance at a cell phone store where he purchased more minutes on a burner phone. It was also stated that Rex had a locked room in his basement, and at one point had an interior designer come into his home, and she was told to measure every room, but to not do the locked room in the basement as it contained guns. Investigators took some 200 firearms from the residence, and only 92 of them were registered. It is also stated that Rex had a self-storage unit, which investigators searched, and may possibly have a second storage unit. Investigators have been searching and removing boxes of evidence from the family home over the past few days, including the firearms. It is stated but not confirmed that investigators have also recovered a video camera and tapes, but it is not clear what is on the tapes. Numerous tips have come flooding in since the arrest of Rex, including many women who are coming forward with their alarming encounters with the suspect. Investigators say that the investigation is still ongoing and cannot confirm whether Rex Humerman is connected to all 11 bodies that have been found in the area. But the investigation has spread into other states where it was discovered that he has a timeshare in Las Vegas and his brother Craig lives in South Carolina, where a truck that is part of the investigation was seized. With all of the evidence and information coming in, investigators have a lot of work ahead of them, and it could mean more victims will be added to the list. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories of these strange days we live in.